Hi, ladies. We are still talking about the male archetypes of the movie Godfather and how men come in variety, just like ice cream. And so we are talking about the oldest son, Sonny. Sonny is a hothead. He is undisciplined. He is a habitual cheater, and he is probably the Don Vito's not favorite, because I think Michael is his favorite, but Sonny was supposed to be the heir to the throne. Sonny lacks a lot of the structural tenets that his father has, because remember, when Sonny is first born, Don Vito was getting everything organized, right? So they go on to have this very expansive oil business because they went from robbing the rich and stealing from the rich and giving to the poor to actually becoming legitimized, which is something later on that Michael finds very hard to do. And so Sonny, who is, brash and loud and quick to pull a pistol out. I mean, he is just all over the place. He has no tenets of becoming the Don. There's a scene in particular where another element is asking for Don Vito to get in the dope game. And he's like, no, we don't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting my hands dirty because we have politicians on our side. We have lawyers on our side. I can't get my hands dirty with that. Sonny cuts him off and says, Dad, we're missing out on a great venture here. Can't you see that? He checked his baby real quick. And that's something that I wrote down. These children are spoiled because they know the benefactor. They're spoiled and they're the benefactor. They can never be what their father was to their mother, and they have no clue of the foundational tenets. They don't. They don't. They don't. They don't. So Pop checks his son. Don't you ever go against me in the company of other people. First of all, don't go against your family. But don't you ever do something like that in the company of other people. How disrespectful. Yeah, like he said, excuse me, guys. I spoil my children, and they speak sometimes when they should really just be quiet. Thank you, but no thank you. Don Vito was the smart one. Don Vito understood legitimacy will get you further, and you can't play with my name. Don't add no smut on my name. And that's what Sonny was trying to do, add smut onto the name. And who really wound up sabotaging the thing and getting into the dope game with the with some of the guys, or at least killing gangsters that were mobsters or into the dope game. Michael really got with it. But when it comes to Sonny, Sonny had the demise because he beat up his sister's husband, who was domestically violencing his wife. Sonny was a wife cheater, habitual. Sonny was racking up karmic debt that he wasn't going to be able to get out of. He just wasn't. The daddy already set the foundation. Yes, these guys were married, but they were not true to their wives, the same way that the Don was true to his wife. And so Sonny winds up getting killed at the turnpike. He beats the crap out of his brother-in-law in the middle of the street. And like I was saying in a previous video, when people say, would you rather someone fear you or respect you? You want the respect. Respect keeps you alive. Fear might have that person harm you. What do a person do when their back is against the wall? They strike, right? That's very unpredictable. I don't need anyone to be scared of me. And so Sonny wanted the fear. He didn't want the respect, right? He was ready to bust heads, shoot them out, bang, bang. Like, he really took the moniker of the Italian mafioso really seriously. That wasn't going to be sustainable. That wasn't going to take him into the next 30 years, 50 years in this family business. And so unfortunately, he meets his demise semi-early into the movie. And so Sonny is an archetype of the flash in the pan, right? He's really a lot of fluff. The perception, or what is the term? When your personality, I guess, leads in front of you, there's a perception of who you are. So Sonny had the backing of his family, but him as an individual, he had no substance. And so that's the kind of guy that is heavily reliant on other people to prop them up, but they want to take all of the shine, right? And Sonny played a lot of those characteristics. He really enjoyed people knowing who he was, who his father was, being a part of that life. The girls wanting him, and the people wanting to do back deals with them and their name. Like, he was like a mini celebrity off of his father's work, but he wasn't adding to the work. You know what I'm saying? Outside of whatever the father was asking of him, he wasn't doing anything that would say, yeah, you're next. And so then we have Fredo. And Fredo is my least favorite male archetype in existence. I hate a complaining Negro. I can't stand it. I'm hyper aware of like what's going on, like the downtroddenness, but the woe is me, the masculine damsel is just so ugh to me. Like, girl, have you heard like anything that's happened to women? And if we got to keep a brave face and stiff upper lip and get therapy, and you do too, I don't want to hear about your crap, because you exercise no strength, you exercise no discipline, and you lack in areas that you think you're better in, and you're not. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys are kind of like they feel like they're God's gift, but that's because they have so many elements around them propping them up. And then when you don't prop them up, they feel some type of way. Sonny had a devoted wife that had children by him, and he shitted on that. But these are the people that are propping you up. So to be internally dismayed or upset at the people that are helping you because you need help is very problematic. Sonny was problematic, and he met his end. But Fredo, like I said, is my least favorite. He is the runt, and he is the middle child, so some middle child syndrome stuff. And that plays a big part on why he does what he does. But let me get to my other Fredo notes. Let me see. Because Fredo is a whole thing, He kind of gets the raw end of the stick. There's a poignant part in the Godfather 2 where, Fredo was going off on Michael. It's like, I got ideas. I'm smart. Maybe not as smart as everyone thinks I am, but I'm your older brother and I want some respect. And so Michael was like, I've been taking care of you. And he's like, you taking care of me? You're my older brother. How does that look? Did you ever think about how that made me feel? And the answer is no. Michael never even thought about Fredo being next in line after Sonny's death and Don Vito giving it to Michael. But we'll talk about why Michael got it in a minute. So Fredo archetype is a can't get right. Even when it's all given out, laid on a platter, all the answers given to the test, they still fail. Because they're self-sabotaging, right? Because they really think what is given to others should be given to them. They know exactly what they would do with someone else's gifts, right? They're constantly watching and lurking, right? Fredo had a very slither type of energy to him. He internalized a lot and kept a lot of things in and kept a smile on his face and pretended a lot. Later on in Godfather 2, where Fredo states that he didn't want to be a lackey. He didn't want to get used. He just didn't know what the hell he was doing. He didn't realize that people were only dealing with him to get close to the Don. People were only dealing with him to get close to Michael. No one was dealing with Fredo directly. So he has never felt seen. He has never felt heard. Do not date the Fredo type, okay? Because they're going to make you the scapegoat. They're going to make it your fault that you have visibility, that you have shine, that you have motion, that you have a thought, an idea, a skill, a talent. They're going to be mad at you for having those things, which is why Fredo had the silent resentment towards Michael. And if you're dating a Fredo, he's going to have resentment towards you, silent resentment towards you. So backhanded compliments, if you catch a person looking at you like, you think you all that, or even saying that you think you all that, that's a Fredo archetype. Fredo was ungrateful. Fredo, like I said, has been given everything, and he's been given a station in life that he is not grateful for. He wants more, but he cannot handle more. He is secretly envious and conspires behind your back. This is what Fredo did to Michael. He conspired behind Michael's back. He was dealing with Ivan Roth, the Jew. He was dealing with Mo Green at the casino. He was dealing with a whole bunch of people behind Michael's back. And these are the same people that try to get Michael's house shot up, to get Michael out of the way, to get the Don out of the way. And they was probably going to kill Fredo too. Fredo was standing in the light, always in the way. This is why they had to send him out of the way, because he's always in the light. What about me? I want to do it. Why can't I do it? Pop, 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 pop. What about me? What about me? What about me? What about me? But they're not doing the works to show what about you. No works. Just doing what you're told. And then you're not even doing what you're told. You're doing what you want to do. Are you dating a Fredo? If so, check out the rest of the videos that I've put up for the archetypes of the male characters in The Godfather. Don Vito is the only one. And next we're going to do Michael. And so once again, until we meet again, ladies, peace. Bye. Don't date Fredo.